Hello, YouTube. I've got a confession to make. I've been ignoring you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I just haven't been feeling very creative, especially after my last video. My last video was something that I was really proud of because it was something that impacted my life a lot, and I felt like I sort of had to, I don't know, I felt like my quality had to go up after I made that first video. So I'm sorry I've been ignoring you, but it was just sort of like, how can I keep going further? And I feel like I just have to keep making videos to keep going further. I'm going to talk to you guys about this little book right here. There are going to be spoilers in this book review, obviously. I'm going to be talking about sort of the elements that are in the books, so I'm sorry if I ruin the plot for you, but just read the book because it's really cool. So we're going to be talking about this book, the Uglies series by Scott Westerfeld. And look YouTube, you're so pretty, look at you! Your new camera, and I even have a new tripod and everything. Oh, you're so pretty, YouTube. You're just great. I love this book. I love it a lot. I think the first time I ever read it was in 6th grade, but it still remains to be one of my favorite books. Let's go, shall we? I'm just gonna read the back paragraphs just so you know what it's about. Tally is about to turn 16, and she can't wait. Not for her license, but for turning pretty. In Tally's world, your 16th birthday brings an operation that turns you from a repellent ugly to a stunningly attractive pretty, encapsulates you into a high-tech paradise where your only job is to have a really great time. But Tally's new friend Shay isn't sure that she wants to be pretty. She'd rather risk her life on the outside. When Shay runs away, Tally learns a whole new side of the pretty world, and it isn't very pretty. The authorities offer Tally the worst choice she can imagine. Find her friend and turn her in, or never become pretty at all. The choice Tally makes will change her world forever. So that's the book. It actually turns into the Uglies series, which I suggest that you read all of them. A lot of the themes in this book are definitely relatable to issues that are important today. Very relatable, and they're also very compelling. Girls feeling that they aren't pretty or adequate or intelligent or smart or anything just because of sort of the celebrities that they look up to, or media influence, or what people have told them, fashion or anything. And then there's also government control, like Occupy Wall Street, or censoring the internet, or other things like that. I love the reason why Tally's drive for her to go look after Shay changed throughout the book. At first it was because she really wanted to be pretty, and she didn't want to be like a weirdo on the outside, be an outcast just because she wasn't completely flawless. And then after that whole entire perspective changed, she sort of gives herself up at the end. A big theme in this book is the sort of societal conception of beauty and what makes a person beautiful. Because Scott Westerfeld does a really cool thing where there have been some magazines kept from our time that Tally and Shay sort of come across. Books on paper, what about them? Not books, they're called magazines. Its strangely glossy pages were covered with pictures of people, uglies. She'd never seen so many wildly different faces before, mouths and eyes and nose of every imaginable shape. Who are these freaks? They aren't freaks, said Shay. The weirdest thing is, they're famous people. They're famous? For what? Being hideous? No, they're sports stars, actors, artists. The men with stringy hair are musicians, I think. The really ugly ones are politicians, and someone told me that the fatties are mostly comedians. That's funny as in strange. So this is what people looked like before the first pretty? How can anyone stand to open their eyes? Yeah, it's scary at first, but the weird thing is, if you keep looking at them, you sort of get used to it. So I just thought that in a world where Tally thinks that having this operation and being beautiful for all of your life, and then she just sees us. I saw this really interesting photo on Tumblr, was that like Barbie dolls in different time periods, and it's just interesting between like the 90s Barbie and the 2000s Barbie, the like societal sort of like ideal beauty, just how like the body shapes are different. The technology in this book is really cool. Like they have hoverboards, and your room can talk to you, and in future books like your room can give you stuff. They have like a toothbrush pill, so instead of brushing your teeth you can just swallow the pill and your teeth become clean. It's really cool. I like sci-fi, like I love Doctor Who, and just like whole different conceptions of, you know, what could be and what is, and why things are this way, and how your society can be transformed into a certain number of years. There was also a really cool theme where you have this like technology metropolis where everything revolves around the technology that you have, and then you have the smoke, which is just like outdoors. They're just cutting down trees and, you know, living off the land and etc. And I found it really weird how weird Tally found it to be outside. Not so much be outside as it is just be in the wilderness. And I can understand that. Last summer I went on a canoe trip for 6 weeks where you cooked your own food and you canoed to different lakes, and you portaging meaning like taking your stuff and putting it on your back and walking up a mountain and sort of lake hopping. And that was a cool experience because you didn't have any technology and you were to yourself. Things just weren't there, like you had to make them come there. And so that idea of how we're sort of losing ourselves in technology was, I liked how that theme was in there. I like how science fiction is creepy in some ways. Definitely there's a theme of that in Doctor Who. And definitely in this book as well. The part where his parents are explaining to Tally how the operation will change your mind, lesions that sort of make you dumb, sort of like, you know, beauty over bronze, and that was a definite case in this book. Just that I love that part, and that sort of just encapsulated sort of a stereotype that we have, that you can't be beautiful and be smart at the same time. And so I loved that he put that in there, and that was major. I loved how that was a major issue in the book, and also further in the series. Sort of like this battle between brains versus brawn, but brawn's always wins because that's how the government regulates things, and that's just so creepy, but it's also so mind-opening. Like, you don't realize that that could actually happen. Those things could actually happen in my lifetime or in another lifetime. I liked how things were abbreviated. There was sort of like a abbreviation thing, like Spagboil, hoverboards, Rusties, I don't know, those are really cool names that he came up with that made me really happy because I could understand them. Like, when you don't understand things and authors try to explain them, it's really sort of sometimes conceptually hard, but the good thing is I could understand this book, so that was really nice. There were sort of different levels of pretty in the classroom. There were Uglies, which was like the awkward stage of puberty, which was like 12 to 15, I think it was. And then after that you turn pretty, and that's I think until like you're 25. There's also another part in either this book or another book, and I can't remember, where Tally's parents are sort of shown. They're like another level of pretty, sort of like Amy Poehler in Mean Girls, where she's like the cool mom, I guess you could say. Like, she's pretty, obviously, but she's also sort of really fake. And then you have Special Circumstances, which are just like intelligent, and in later books they have like special abilities that they're made to have special abilities. Like, you take a pretty transformation and then do a specialist transformation, and like the way that Tally's mind thinks is sort of like an animal. Amazing instincts, like, I don't know, the perfect Ravenclaw is every single specials. I also loved how weird it was for Tally to think that after a certain age people couldn't not be pretty anymore. It was really weird for her to see David, and it was really weird for her to see David's parents. There's a really cool part where she sees that David looks the same as her father, and her father goes, well, you don't know about genetics, do you? And she's like, wait, what? Like, each person becomes different, and you can say that that person is your father, but you look different from them. It's like that new Justin Timberlake movie Time, where your grandmother could look the same as you, but she's like, I don't know how many years older. That's basically my overview of the book. I would definitely recommend, especially with science fiction or like teen novels or young adult or anything like that. This is a really good series, and especially this book is really good. Read some of Scott Westerfeld's other stuff. Leviathan is really great. It's a World War II book, and just has a completely different concept of like machines versus animals. That's sort of my 2 cents I'm gonna throw in there. I'm sorry I kept you guys waiting. I'll probably be back soon, and I hope to see you guys. Bye!